and welcome to Game Day with Greg. We are here. We are ready. It is week 1 of college football. I am here with the man himself, Gameday Greg.
That's me.
And I'm Meg.
And we're excited to bring you the first week of college football.
We got some exciting games for night 1 of college football.
Thursday night.
I'm stoked.
8 p.m. Where are we going?
We are going Florida at Utah.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Huge.
A lot of questions surrounding that game. Popping up tonight, actually.
I have a lot of questions.
Let's hear them.
I'm confused. I know nothing.
Well, I can fill you in. News just broke that Utah starting quarterback, Cam Rising, still not over that ACL injury. Probably not playing tomorrow night.
You're kidding.
It's going to raise a lot of questions about that spread and the former certainty I had that Utah was going to win this game.
I mean, last year, Florida escaped with a 3-point win over the Utes. But, you know, Utah's entering this game with 4.5 favorites, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm not loving that anymore. Cam, like I said earlier, getting over that torn ACL, probably not playing. He's 18-6 as a starter. He's really probably the second best quarterback in the Pac-12 behind Caleb Williams. Losing him, if he's not going tomorrow, big blow because they're going to have to rely on the former walk-on, Bryson Barnes. Came in the Rose Bowl, played okay, but he's not Cam Rising.
If I'm them, I'm feeling nervous. I'm not feeling great.
If I was a fan of Utah, I'd be a little freaked out about opening night.
You never know.
But speaking of quarterbacks.
Speaking of quarterbacks, and speaking of new quarterbacks, Florida is starting Wisconsin transfer, Graham Mertz. Any expectations?
Well, Graham Mertz, he was a big-time recruit out of high school. Had an up-and-down career at Wisconsin after the coaching change there. Decided to get a fresh start down in Florida. They picked him up. He won the QB1 out of spring. Has held on to it. And hopefully, I like the guy. Hopefully the fresh start is a good thing for him. And he'll have some weapons. He's got Ricky Pearsall and Caleb Douglas. Parcel's a great route runner, NFL potential. If they can start connecting, I expect Florida to move the ball pretty good on Utah tomorrow night.
I've heard those routes are very impressive. That
Crisp.
is what I've been hearing.
Very crisp route runner.
That's what I've heard, actually.
But aside from that, taking pressure off the passing game, this will help March a lot, is that Montrell Johnson, over 800 yards on the ground last year, 10 touchdowns. He enters the new season probably is one of the top 2-3 running backs in the SEC. If they can get him going behind that offensive line, a lot of pressure off Mertz, easy to open up that passing game. I expect Florida to move the ball pretty good.
So who are you taking?
Well, now that it sounds like Cam Rising's not playing, I'm definitely picking Florida in this one. 4.5-point spread. Utes are favored. I'm taking Florida not only to cover, but to actually go out west and win this one. What about you?
I'm going to completely disagree.
Why?
I love an underdog. I think that they're going to come out and just shock the entire world.
Backup, former walk-on quarterback, going out, beating a former U.S. Army All-American MVP in Graham Mertz.
There's more to football than just the quarterback.
It's true. There's 11 guys out there.
And when the pressure's on you, you can crumble.
That's true.
Expectations are high. Sometimes they do their worst.
She makes a good point.
And if they have something to prove, they're expected to lose. That's when they shine. In my opinion, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Teams heading west always struggle a bit. And I'm just going to take Utah. I'm going Utes.
All right, we disagree on that one.
Fire up Utes.
We'll see how it plays out tomorrow night.
I'm going to be right, and you're going to be very surprised.
Put some money on it.
I will. Second game of the night, we have Nebraska at Minnesota.
Ooh, Big Ten Conference game.
Exactly. You are correct.
That's huge in week 1.
8 p.m. Eastern. It's prime time, in my opinion. That's what I'm watching.
Hell yeah, and it's coming on. It'll be on Fox. 2 teams that have a lot of new faces, both sides of the ball, especially Nebraska.
Nebraska had a horrible record last year. Minnesota's pretty decent. How are we feeling, Greg?
Well, Nebraska mainly. You got the new coach, Matt Rule, coming in. Did really good things back when he was at Temple. Went to the NFL. Did okay in the NFL. back in the college ranks. I know Nebraska fans have high hopes going into this season.
As they should. I mean, it's a new era for these corn huskers. They are husking some corn.
They are husking some corn, and they are desperate for a winner. It's been a long time since they've had a winning
I hope
season.
he does it for the people of Nebraska. They deserve something good.
I think it's been 6 years in a row now that they've had a losing record.
I mean, that's impressive in itself. Not many teams are good at that.
It's really sad for Nebraska football. I mean, the state shuts down for football.
Expectations are high in Lincoln, but, question remains. A lot of roster to turn over there.
Yeah, it's they got a new quarterback coming in, Jeff Sims. He won the quarterback battle. He's QB1. He's coming in from Georgia Tech. Threw for close to 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns. He also ran for over 1,100 yards in his 3 years there. But bad news for him is he's often easily injured. So
it's bad news for everyone there.
But if he's up, they can keep him upright. He's a heck of a quarterback. Should help them win a lot of games. He also has some new faces on the offensive line protecting him. That's another major concern. We'll see how that shakes out. I know they got a couple transfers. They got an Arizona State transfer and Ben Scott taking over at center. But they do have a few nice backs in Anthony Grant and Gabe Irvin. So we'll see. We'll see how that offense gets going. I know he's got a good receiver on the outside in Marcus Washington. Keep him upright. Keep him healthy. Nebraska should eventually start to be able to move the ball. I just don't know if they're going to do it in week 1.
I mean, defensively, there's a lot of holes to fill up front. So we'll see about that.
Big holes to fill for Nebraska. They got a pretty decent nose tackle, but they lost their 2 top pass rushers
to the NFL.
Yeah, and that's a big loss when you lose NFL talent off a college team. Not sure exactly how the front seven is going to go. We know a little bit about the middle linebacker.
A little bit. Luke.
He's solid. Luke Reamer, good, most productive returning player on the team. He's pretty much their only star on the defensive side at this point that's been established.
That's going to be tough.
That's not a very good mix for this weekend because Minnesota likes to do one thing and one thing well, and they pound the ball. They get behind that big offensive line, and they're going to run the ball.
Well, good luck to them.
So, let's get right into it.
Hop into predictions. Go ahead. Take it away.
I got to go Minnesota in this one. It's hard enough in the Big Ten to go on the road and win. And when you have 2 teams probably close to equal skill, I just think the position battles really are in Minnesota's advantage on the lines, both sides of the ball, in the run game, going up against Nebraska's defense that just has too many new faces and too many holes to fill. A lot to ask in week 1.
You're talking a lot about these holes to fill. It sounds like they're going to really struggle.
I think this one could get away from Nebraska pretty early in the second half. I imagine they'll keep it close. But, I'm liking Minnesota in this one.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Minnesota all the way. I'm thinking it's not even close. They're up by 2 touchdowns all game.
Wow.
Scoring early.
Blowing
keeping
them
it
out.
running.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. We got a Minnesota, and we're both in agreement on that. We'll see what happens Thursday night.
Go Minnesota.
Golden Gophers.
Ayo. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Thursday Night Picks with Meg and Gameday Greg himself. We are excited for the weekend. It is week 1 of college football. We will be here all weekend covering each day.
A lot of football.
We got picks. What do we got?
We got picks Friday. We might actually be doing a stadium review, potentially.
Okay.
There's be something coming out next week.
Not potentially. Get the people excited. We're doing a stadium review. We're eating the food. We're drinking the drinks. We're going to the restaurants. We are feeling the vibe. We're going to the parking lot. We're sitting there with all the weirdos. Say something.
Well, thank you for watching Game Day with Greg. I'm Greg. Alongside me is Meg. And that was our Thursday night preview for week 1. Plenty more coming this weekend. We got games all Labor Day weekend.
I'm excited. Greg's excited.
We also next week have a stadium review coming up. We're going to Ypsilanti, Michigan, hitting the tailgates, checking out Depot Town, giving you all the sights and sounds of what it's like at a game day at Eastern Michigan.
Oh, my God. This has been Game Day with Greg. I'm Meg. Good night. Goodbye.
So long. Till next time.
I was on the wrong game. I was on the wrong game this whole time. All right, it's fine. I know a lot about football. I know a lot about college football. I'm the star. I'm Meg.
Meg. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking forget that.
Greg is just here.
Yeah. I'm just here.